Saraphina and Bello were two young lovers who met in university. They were the most talked about couple in school, with people often pointing and admiring them as they walked by. After graduating, Bello's parents pressured him to marry a family friend's daughter named Zari, but Bello refused. He told his parents that he was very much in love with Saraphina, but they remained adamant. Zari was extremely beautiful with long black hair and nice set of teeth. Despite his love for Saraphina, Bello eventually agreed to the marriage. The wedding ceremony was so lavish and the talk of the town. This really broke Saraphina into pieces. She cried and asked God why. She was consoled by family and friends and eventually started a small business to distract herself. She started selling hot rice and stew, and she eventually got a lot of customers and made so much money. Few months later, Bello was driving by when he spotted Saraphina selling rice. He stopped and met with her. Saraphina immediately started crying. He knelt down by the road and apologized to her, also explaining how he was pressured by his family into a loveless marriage. Saraphina said, "At least you should have told me. You left without saying a word. I saw your wedding pictures and videos online. It really broke my heart." Bello apologized to her profusely and Saraphina forgave him. From then on, Bello started visiting her food stand every day, eating and gisting with her. Obviously, they both still loved each other dearly. They kissed and started dating again. He eventually proposed to Saraphina and she agreed to marry him as a second wife. They both smiled and Saraphina asked him, "But how will your wife at home react when she hears about us? Hope she won't kill me." Bello said no. She doesn't have any problem at all. She understands perfectly that my heart was with someone else. Saraphina smiled. They eventually met with both families. And wedding preparations started. Bello's wedding with Saraphina was even more lavish than his wedding with Zari. There was so much to eat and drink, and people partied till dawn. Afterwards, Saraphina met Zari, and they hugged, welcoming each other into their shared life with Bello. Bello was so happy. He never imagined things will fall in place so easily. He bragged to his friends how he married two beautiful, understanding wives who are unproblematic. His friends all smiled and praised him for making the right decision. Saraphina and Zari became extremely close, always cooking together and going everywhere together. They even spent more time with each other than their husband Bello. Bello was happy to see them getting along and even turning best friends. However, unknown to Bello, Saraphina and Zari started a romantic relationship. They would sneak around, kiss, and make love to each other, buying gifts and spending time together. Whenever Bello invited them to join him in the bedroom, they would complain about being tired. One day, Bello returned home unexpectedly and caught Saraphina and Zari kissing in the living room. He was shocked and fainted. As Bello lay on the floor, Saraphina and Zari stood over him, holding hands and looking at each other with love and affection. They knew their relationship would change everything, but they were ready to face the consequences. When Bello woke up, he looked at Saraphina and Zari with a mix of shock, confusion, and sadness. He didn't know what to say or do. Saraphina and Zari looked at him with compassion and understanding, knowing that they had to have an open and honest conversation about their relationship and their future together. "Bello, we need to talk," Saraphina said, her voice gentle but firm. "Yes, we do," Zari added, her eyes locked on Bello's. Bello nodded, still trying to process what he had just seen. I don't know what to say," he stammered. Saraphina and Zari sat down next to him, holding hands and looking at him with love and affection. "We know this may come as a shock to you, but we want you to know that our love for each other is real," Saraphina explained. "Yes, and we're not sorry for how we feel," Zari added, her voice firm but gentle. Bello looked at them, still trying to process his emotions. He had always known that Saraphina and Zari were close, but he had no idea that their relationship had evolved into something romantic. I don't know what to say," Bello repeated, feeling like he was stuck in a dream. Saraphina and Zari looked at each other, then back at Bello. "We know this may be a lot to take in, but we want you to know that our love for each other doesn't diminish our love for you," Saraphina explained. "Yes, we love you, Bello, and we always will, Zari added. But we also love each other. And we can't deny our feelings any longer. Bello looked at them, feeling like his world had been turned upside down. He didn't know what to say or do, but he knew that he had to make a decision. As he sat there, looking at Saraphina and Zari, he realized that he had a choice to make. He could either accept their relationship and try to make it work, or he could reject them and risk losing the two people he loved most in the world. Bello took a deep breath, then looked at Saraphina and Zari. "I need time to think," he said finally. Saraphina and Zari nodded, understanding. "We understand," Saraphina said. "Take all the time you need, Bello. We'll be here, waiting for you." Bello nodded, then stood up. He looked at Saraphina and Zari, feeling like he was standing at a crossroads. He knew that whatever decision he made, it would change his life forever. As he walked away, Saraphina and Zari looked at each other, holding hands and smiling. They knew that they had taken a risk by revealing their relationship to Bello, but they also knew that they couldn't deny their feelings any longer. "We'll be okay," Saraphina said, squeezing Zari's hand. "Yes, we will," Zari replied, smiling. "We have each other, and that's all that matters." As the days passed, Bello struggled to come to terms with Saraphina and Zari's relationship. He knew that he loved them both dearly, but he wasn't sure if he could accept their love for each other. One day, as he was sitting in his office, he received a visit from his best friend, Alex. Alex had always been a good listener, and Bello knew that he could trust him with his secrets. "Alex, I need to talk to you about something," Bello said, looking at his friend with a serious expression. "What is it, Bello?" Alex asked, looking at him with concern. Bello took a deep breath, then told Alex everything. He told him about Saraphina and Zari's relationship, and how he was struggling to come to terms with it. Alex listened attentively, nodding his head and making supportive noises. When Bello finished talking, Alex looked at him with a thoughtful expression. "Bello, I know this may be a lot to take in, but I want you to consider something," Alex said. "Saraphina and Zari's love for each other doesn't diminish their love for you. In fact, it may even strengthen it." Bello looked at Alex, surprised. "What do you mean?" he asked. "I mean that Saraphina and Zari's love for each other is a reflection of their love for you," Alex explained. "They love you so much that they are willing to be honest with you about their feelings, even if it means risking their relationship with you," Alex continued. "That takes a lot of courage and love. And think about it, Bello. If Saraphina and Zari can love each other so deeply, why can't they love you just as deeply?" Bello looked at Alex, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders. He had never thought about it that way before. He realized that he had been so focused on his own feelings and concerns that he hadn't stopped to consider the depth of Saraphina and Zari's love for each other and for him. "Thank you, Alex," Bello said, feeling a sense of gratitude towards his friend. "You've given me a lot to think about," Alex smiled and nodded. "That's what friends are for, Bello. Now go and talk to Saraphina and Zari. I'm sure they're waiting to hear from you." Bello nodded and stood up, feeling a sense of determination and purpose. He knew that he still had a lot to learn and understand, but he was ready to take the next step and see where this journey would take him. As he walked back to his house, he felt a sense of excitement and nervousness. He knew that he was about to embark on a journey that would change his life forever. When he arrived home, he found Saraphina and Zari sitting in the living room, holding hands and looking at each other with love and affection. They looked up at him as he entered the room, and Bello could see the concern and uncertainty in their eyes. "Bello, we've been waiting for you," Saraphina said, her voice soft and gentle. "We want to talk to you about us and our future together." Bello nodded and sat down next to them, taking their hands in his. "I'm ready to listen and talk," he said, looking at them with love and affection. "I want us to be happy together, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen." Saraphina and Zari smiled at each other, then back at Bello. "We love you, Bello," Saraphina said, her voice filled with emotion. Yes, we do, Zari added. And we're willing to do whatever it takes to make this work and be happy together, Bello smiled, feeling a sense of joy and happiness. I love you both too, he said, holding their hands tightly. And I know that together, we can overcome anything and be happy. As they sat there, holding hands and looking at each other with love and affection, Bello knew that he had made the right decision. He knew that this journey would not be easy, but he was ready to face whatever challenges came their way, as long as he had Saraphina and Zari by his side, and so, the three of them began their journey together, as a polyamorous family, facing challenges and obstacles along the way, but always holding on to their love for each other. As time passed, Bello, Saraphina, and Zari grew closer and stronger as a family. They learned to communicate effectively, to respect each other's boundaries, and to love each other unconditionally. They became a symbol of hope and acceptance for others who were in unconventional relationships. They proved that love knows no bounds and that with commitment, communication, and compassion, anything is possible. Bello's family and friends, who had initially been shocked by the revelation, eventually came to accept and support their unconventional relationship. They saw how happy Bello, Saraphina, and Zari were together and realized that love is the most important thing. Bello, Saraphina, and Zari lived happily ever after as a loving and committed polyamorous family. They knew that their relationship was unconventional, but they also knew that it was real and that it was based on love, respect, and acceptance. As the years passed, Bello, Saraphina, and Zari continued to live happily together. They built a beautiful home, started a successful business, and eventually decided to start a family. Saraphina gave birth to two beautiful boys, whom they named Emmanuel and Gabriel. Zari gave birth to two lovely girls, whom they named Hannah and Elizabeth. The family lived together in harmony, filled with love, laughter, and joy. Bello, Saraphina, and Zari were devoted parents, and they made sure to spend quality time with each of their children. As the children grew up, they learned valuable lessons from their parents about love, acceptance, and family. They saw how their parents loved and respected each other. Despite their unconventional relationship, the family became a symbol of hope and inspiration to many people in their community. They proved that love knows no bounds and that family is not just about biology, but about the love and commitment you have for each other. As the children entered adulthood, they began to ask questions about their family's unconventional structure. Bello, Saraphina, and Zari sat them down and explained their story, telling them about the love and commitment they had for each other. The children listened with open hearts and minds, and they came to understand and appreciate the love and sacrifice that their parents had made for each other. In the end, Bello, Saraphina, Zari, Emmanuel, Gabriel, Hannah, and Elizabeth lived happily ever after. As a loving and committed family, moral lessons. 1. Love knows no bounds. Bello, Saraphina, and Zari's story shows that love can conquer all, even societal norms and expectations. 2. Family is not just about biology. The story highlights that family is about the love and commitment you have for each other, not just about blood ties. 3. Acceptance and understanding are key. The family's happiness and harmony were made possible by the acceptance and understanding of each other's differences. 4. Communication is essential. Bello, Saraphina, and Zari's open and honest communication with each other and their children helped to build trust and strengthen their relationships. 5. Love is the most important thing. The story shows that love is the foundation of a happy and fulfilling life, and that it can conquer all obstacles and challenges. Here are some simple food for thought for this story. 1. Can love really conquer all, even societal norms and expectations? 2. What defines a family? Biology, love, or commitment? 3. Is it possible to love more than one person at the same time? 4. Can acceptance and understanding overcome judgment and criticism? 5. What are the consequences of following your heart, even if it means going against societal norms? 6. Can a non-traditional family structure be just as loving and supportive as a traditional one? 7. How important is communication and honesty in building trust and strengthening relationships? 8. Can love be a powerful enough force to bring people together, despite their differences? Thanks for watching. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section and please share this story with your friends and loved ones. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye for now.